It's past 1 in the morning, your body is heavy, you are genuinely exhausted, but your mind will not stop. It keeps replaying the conversation, rehearsing tomorrow, listing everything you forgot to do. You are not broken. Your brain simply never got the signal that the day is over. So you do what almost everyone does. You lie there and try to force the thoughts to stop, which only makes them louder. Or you pick up your phone to tire your eyes out, and the light quietly tells your brain it's morning. Or you start doing the math. If I fall asleep right now, I still get 4 hours, and that number becomes its own alarm clock. None of it works, and it's not your fault. None of these speak the language your nervous system actually understands. But what if you could send your brain a signal it can't argue with? Not a thought, a physical, chemical signal. One that tells the oldest part of your nervous system, the threat is over, you're allowed to power down. Not after an hour of meditation. In about 60 seconds, there are 3 of them. Each one shuts down a different system that's keeping you awake. Your breathing chemistry, your looping thoughts, and the one nobody expects. Your own effort to fall asleep. That third one is the strangest thing I found. It asks you to do the exact opposite of what you're lying there trying to do, and the science behind it is almost unfair. Stay with me to the end, because that's the one that rescues your worst nights. Here's what's actually happening inside your skull. There's a network in your brain called the default mode network. It's the part that switches on when you have nothing to do, when you're not focused on a task. During the day, it's useful. It's where you daydream and plan. But at night, when you lie down in the dark with no task left, this network doesn't quiet down. It revs up. And the more you notice that you're still awake, the harder it fires. Sleep researchers have a name for this loop: cortical hyperarousal. Rumination drives arousal. Arousal blocks sleep. And a blocked night just hands your mind more material to ruminate on tomorrow. You cannot think your way out of this because the thinking is the problem. So we're not going to argue with the mind. We're going to go underneath it. 3 ways. The first one is the fastest way humans have to calm down in real time, and your body already does it on its own, usually right before you cry or in your sleep. It's called the physiological sigh. 2 inhales, 1 long exhale. That's the whole thing. When you're wound up, the tiny air sacs in your lungs, the alveoli, start to collapse and carbon dioxide builds up in your blood. That buildup is part of what your brain reads as stress. The double inhale re-inflates those sacs, and the long, slow exhale offloads the carbon dioxide fast. But here's the real lever. That long exhale physically slows your heart through the vagus nerve, the main brake line of your parasympathetic nervous system. In a Stanford study published in 2023, people who did this breathing pattern for 5 minutes a day lowered their cortisol and improved their mood more than people doing mindfulness meditation for the same time. Same minutes, better result. Because this doesn't ask your mind for permission, it works on the machinery directly. So here's your 60 seconds. Inhale through your nose, then at the top, take a second short sip of air to fully inflate. Then let it out slowly through your mouth. Long, unhurried, all the way empty. That's 1. Do 5 of them. You will feel your heart rate come down before you finish. This is the signal your body cannot ignore. The breath handles your body, but your thoughts are still talking. So the second technique doesn't try to silence them. It hijacks them. It's called cognitive shuffling. Remember that default mode network, the one running the loop? It stays awake by building narrative, threads. One worry pulls the next. This reminded me of that, which means tomorrow I have to, and you're gone. A cognitive scientist named Luc Baudouin figured out how to starve it. His method, studied under the name serial diverse imagining, feeds the mind a stream of random, completely unrelated images, pictures with no thread between them, nothing to build a story from. In his research, people using it fell asleep faster than people using the old trick of counting, because counting has a pattern, and a mind that finds a pattern stays awake to follow it. Here's how you do it in the dark. Pick any neutral word, let's say candle. Take the first letter, C, and picture random objects starting with C, one every few seconds with zero connection between them. Cat, cactus, cloud, a cup, don't link them, don't narrate them, just let each one appear and dissolve. When you run dry, move to the next letter. What you're doing is handing your mind a job that looks like dreaming. Disconnected images, no meaning, so it stops looking for problems to solve. Most nights, you won't finish the word. And now the one I promised you, the strange one. This is for the nights when you're staring at the ceiling, and the very fact that you're still awake has become the thing keeping you awake. The technique is called Paradoxical Intention, and it asks you to do this. Stop trying to fall asleep. In fact, gently try to stay awake. I know how that sounds. Stay with me, because this is the part that's almost unfair. Here's the trap you're in. Somewhere along the way, you started treating sleep like a performance, something you have to achieve. So you try harder. You monitor yourself. Am I asleep yet? You check the clock. And every one of those checks is a small hit of effort and adrenaline, the exact opposite of what sleep needs. Researchers call it sleep effort performance anxiety, and it feeds the same arousal loop we started with. Paradoxical Intention, a treatment developed back in the 1970s, breaks it with one move. When you lie there and gently give yourself permission to stay awake, no pressure to sleep, no clock to beat, the performance disappears. There's nothing left to fail at. In controlled studies, people who did this dropped their sleep effort and their bedtime anxiety significantly. Not by trying harder, by stopping the trying. So on your worst night, this is the 60 seconds. Lie still, keep your eyes gently closed, and instead of chasing sleep, tell yourself calmly, I'm just going to rest here and stay awake a little longer. No effort to sleep, no checking, just permission. 9 times out of 10, the moment you stop reaching for it, it comes to you. Because sleep was never something you could force, it's something you allow. So that's your kit for the nights your mind won't stop. Breathe to calm the body, the physiological sigh. Shuffle to quiet the thoughts, random, disconnected images. And on the hard nights, release the effort entirely. Let yourself stay awake and let sleep come to you. 3 signals, all in a language your nervous system already speaks. I spent a few weeks reading the actual research behind these. Every study I mentioned is real, and I've left them in the description. Now, close your eyes. You know what to do.